That is how you get this win, Sixers After Dark. As we welcome you here to Sixers Postgame Live, brought to you by Kia Auto Insurance. Amy Fadul alongside Jim Lynam and Mark Jackson. And this one was domination, but it really wasn't that case until the fourth quarter. I mean, it was a tight game, Jim, until the fourth, and the Sixers absolutely took over. Yeah,
they went lockdown on that defense, Aim. As we said, 9 points in the first 9 minutes of the fourth quarter to open this thing up. But I'll tell you another facet of their outstanding D. Paul George, the leading scorer of the Clippers, had 13 points in this game. And they took him right out of the offense, I felt. He couldn't get a lot of high percentage shooting opportunities. This is a guy that averages 23-plus points a game.
Yeah, only 13 for Paul George. Defensively, this is what we've seen from them on this road trip. After they had kind of maybe faltered a little bit in the previous couple of games, but they really locked it down in the fourth, Mark.
They did, Amy, and I really think, they said your offense is going to struggle, but your defense got to always travel. So it's good to see that this 76ers ball club has their stretches when it's time to go to lockdown mode. They're capable of doing that. And it was countless times throughout this game that I see, we call it scramble. When one guy gets beat, then you helping and they keep making passes. You got to keep scrambling to recover, help them recover. I thought the Sixers had stretch tonight. They was outstanding in that category.
We got to talk about someone else who was outstanding. That was Tobias Harris. Yeah, he had 20 points, but he had 5 steals in the first half. That ties a career high. Let's check in with him as he's joined by Kate Scott and Al Abdinabi.
Tobias, listen to this stat. The last 76ers player with 14 or more points, 5 or more steals, and no turnovers in a first half before you did it here tonight was none other than the answer, Allen Iverson, back on November 7th, 2003. Wow. What is hearing that?
That's great company right there.
20 years, man. It's been 20 years since a Sixer did that.
Wow, that's pretty awesome.
Okay, but coming into this one, I mean, you looked focused and ready from the tip tonight. So tell us about that.
Yeah, just wanted to take advantage of the opportunities. We had with foul trouble, a little bit of different lineup, so it presented some opportunities for me to be aggressive and just get to my spots and just flow out there. So I thought, as a whole team, we know how important this road trip was, and we just got to keep building on the momentum, and that's what I thought we did tonight.
Well, I used to have to go through it myself when I played, but you're back in a place where you used to play. It's not easy to stay focused and play well in older spots where you've been. How are you able to focus in a place that was special to you and that you spent some time in?
Just to come out and embrace it. This was a place I played at that, really enhanced my career as a player. And I got an opportunity to show what I can do. So anytime I'm on the floor coming back here, I always have those type of memories. And, when I was here, these fans embraced me. And, that went a long way for me. So, obviously, my big focus each and every night is to do whatever I can to help our team win. And tonight, I just had that extreme focus in doing that and coming out here and just having a successful night.
Well, you were a huge part of the victory tonight,
Great
Tobias.
win, buddy.
3-0 on the roadie. Up to Portland we go. Great work.
All right, see you guys.
Good job.
All right, let's go right to our Colonial Nissan game changer, and we got to talk about the fourth quarter. It's a 1-point game. Tyrese Maxey absolutely on fire in this one, Jim.
Yeah, I thought he was very aggressive. I don't know if that had something to do with him coming off that bench, but he was looking to score the ball, no question about it.
A couple of threes, actually 3 straight threes for him, Mark, to really open this one up.
I think not just one thing a positive about coming off the bench, I feel as though you get a little bit more freedom. And to be able to take, pretty much take over games and be more ball dominant at certain stretches throughout the game. And I really think that last game and this game, Maxey has a sense of urgency for trying to score the ball.
See, so that last 3 game, a 6-point lead, and there's a Joel Embiid jumper. Of course, a dish from who else? James Harden, and that's what he does. But then we got another 3 this time from George Niang. When they're hitting threes like this, Jim, I mean, that's tough to beat.
Yeah, well, they're one of the best 3-point shooting teams in the league. They get them for a variety of reasons, but you see the unselfish play. A lot of times when Embiid feeds the ball from the middle of the court, obviously he could shoot those shots. He's in the middle of the lane, but he really, I can't tell you how much, I think Doc said, like, the confidence that he has, like maybe last year he wouldn't have done that. But I'm going to say also his vision, that he sees those plays more clearly now than he certainly did in the early part of his career.
And that last play, I can't go without saying, I mean, Embiid, talk about vision right there, going up for that big block and then dishing it out to the fastest guy on the court. That would be Tyrese Maxey. Just a good 1-2 punch. That really sealed it right there, Mark.
He really did, Amy. Joel Embiid does what he does special is he goes after every single ball like it's the last play of the game. His energy on the defensive end just flows tremendously with his ability and his will to be dominant on offensive end. And defense creates offense. How many times this year have we seen Joel make a spectacular defensive play that ignites his team? And once again, it happened tonight.
Yes, it did. Let's check in now with Doc Rivers after his team's 3-0 start to this road trip.
Fourth quarter and got those couple hit 3 threes. Just how much of a lift did that been?
Well, it was a huge lift. I mean, we didn't have a start in for a while in that stretch and stretched the lead. Our bench was fantastic tonight. When you look at our bench and you see plus 23, plus 18, plus 12, plus 10, it's what we were talking about before the game. Sometimes we let those 5 guys play. And I just think Shake and Tyrese have something good going, and they played off of each other really well tonight.
Tobias really helped in the
He was huge. It was huge. You know, offensively he was great, but I thought Tobias defensively in the last 2 games has given us a huge lift. I mean, we start with Tucker and Kawhi, and then, you know, you put Tobias on Kawhi and Paul George and ask him to score. He's doing a lot of stuff for us.
When you think about who Tobias was when you coached him here for
Yeah.
who he is now, and you're saying he's guarding Kawhi and Paul George,
Yeah.
how do you reflect on that evolution?
It's been great. We wouldn't have put him on any of those guys when I was here. You know, really. He was, but you know, when you think about it, he was trying to develop himself as an offensive player. So he did that, and now he's on the other end, which has been great for us. Really good for us.
We've been talking about his defensive progression even since like the end of last season.
Yeah.
But maybe even recently, where have you seen the most growth on that end of the
With his feet. You know, we talk about it a lot. Like, you know, we started him out on the point guard tonight, and just moving your feet, keeping the ball in front, using your body, your length, and he's doing that. And then when we put him on Paul George, now we have him denying catches. So like he's just working hard. Now he knows like there's nights he's going to get the ball, there's nights he's not going to get the ball, but there's other ways to help teams win, and he's doing that.
Back with our play of the game, and you can't see this enough. Defense leading to offense. This is a prime example of it, Mark Jackson.
Defense creates offense, especially out when the fastest guy on the floor running. Maxey finished it.
I mean, and it looked like he got a little bit fouled, but they didn't call it. But what a block. What a huge block by Joel Embiid, Jim.
Yeah, he literally, those would-be drivers, he lets them get in the air, but his timing, his length, and his athleticism, he's able to talk to you up top.
It's a thing of beauty, especially on both ends, honestly. It's a thing of beauty to have the block and to have a guy that can run out that fast, that quickly. There was actually a play, and it was funny. As soon as it happened, there was a travel with Tyrese Maxey late in this game. And
Yep.
Mark Jackson says, like, it's because he's so fast. And without a beat, Kate Scott goes, it's because he's so fast. And
Exactly.
that's where it does kind of, it's a double-edged sword. But we got to talk a little bit about Joel Embiid. Last time he faced the Clips, 41 points. Tonight, 44 points. Tonight, 41. He has an 8-0 career record at Crypto.com Arena, even back when it was called Staples. Call it whatever you want. It's the house that Joel built.
There you go.
Hasn't lost there. Wow, I didn't know that.
8-0.
That's impressive.
It is impressive. And obviously, you
If you
know,
look at those numbers, another big night at the foul line, 18 free throws.
it's so big when you see numbers like that. And what he's able to do there, and Mark, you said it as we were waiting for him to go on, there's something about playing in LA. Whether it's against the Clippers or the Lakers, obviously, is a little bit more storied, but there's always just something about it. What is it?
It's just the atmosphere, you know, the glitz and the glam of the old-fashioned Showtime Lakers, and then really look at this.
Well, I mean, Zubac,
Man, he's in his,
I'm embarrassed
we
for
call
you.
that in his bag.
It's ridiculous.
When you got so much, you see me dig in my bag, say I'm gonna hit you with this time. And Joel Embiid was in his bag tonight. Joel Embiid is the biggest, baddest dude in the NBA. I continuously keep saying it. But when you're in LA, it just does something to you, where it brings out the best of you, man. And it's just when we said last time Joel had 44 last time versus the Clippers, I was like, he's gonna have close to that tonight.
Well, he
and
could
he's still
have.
in LA.
He could have. They lifted him with about 2.5 minutes to go. Maybe he could have gotten closer to that. But I think it's important to know that this is a good Clippers team, and we can't forget about the all-star duo of Paul George and Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi started to get hot, and you were a little bit. I know you guys were watching at home. You're thinking, "Uh-oh, here it comes." But they took a punch from a good team. They withstood it, and they came out and shut the door. How promising is that?
Yeah, that's aptly described, Aim. I thought they were in trouble, to be honest with you, the way the Clips came out in the third quarter. But as they have done on this trip, they constantly have been able to respond when the other team makes a run at them. And that's not an easy thing to do on the road. This is now 3 straight games they've done it.
Yeah, it's been fun to watch. I tell you, I know we had some one-point games, and those are exciting, but this one was just exciting, maybe a little bit more exciting because we got to breathe.